Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at some Wick Off the 18 trades that we had in bonds this afternoon. You can see on the 30-minute chart that bonds, they pushed up in the morning and then they left this really bearish bar. This was a big topping tail. Now the body of this bar was still all buying, so not the perfect bearish setup, but still a really bearish bar. This bar opened here, closed down there, also a very bearish move. This bar opened at the top, closed at the bottom, also very bearish. Then we kind of had a pullback here, went into some indecision, and then had another big topping tail. And the body of this bar was all selling. Caused the 5 and the 13 to cross to the downside. Even though we're out of alignment with our higher moving averages, the 50 still above the 200, bonds had turned bearish. Starting here, bonds were making lower highs, lower lows, and we're heading lower. So we were watching that on our Unirenko chart because, as you know, our Unirenko chart is our primary trading chart, and the markets have slowed down a little bit today. And the bonds, we trade the Unirenko chart in bonds anyways, even though the market volatility has been higher. The Unirenko chart has worked really nice in bonds. And you can see we have our new Trender Pro 2.0 on this chart. We broke out of compression. We went from neutral to bearish to strong bearish. When the red bars turned dark red, we went strong bearish, made the pullback, set up our wick out of the cloud. Not really the trade that we want to take yet because our moving averages weren't quite in alignment and we didn't have momentum with us. Momentum had gone bullish at this point. So we broke out of the cloud, and then right here we made the pullback. Now we had momentum in our direction. We had all the moving averages in alignment. The price is under the cloud and under the smooth 50. The 50 SMA is under the smooth 50 in the cloud. The 34 EMA is under the 50 SMA, and the 18 EMA is breaking under the 34 EMA. So we get our wick off the 18 right here. And when we say wick off the 18, we're talking about these Unirenko bars. They leave a topping tail or a wick, and then they close at the bottom. That's telling us that buyers were buying up, buying up, buying up. Sellers stepped in, took control, closed the bar to the downside, and took the market lower. And then we had a push down, a nice momentum reset right here. This triggered to the downside, good for 10 ticks, actually a little more, but our first target's 10 ticks, which in bonds is over $320 per contract. So we hit our first 10 ticks here. We get our pullback, set up another wick off the 18. Now our moving averages are starting to separate, showing even more momentum. And on top of that, Trender Pro 2.0, still dark red, showing that we have plenty of strength to the downside. This is good for another 10 ticks, plus a little more than 10 ticks, but again, at least $320 per contract. Get the pullback, get the trail stop failure. Trender Pro 2.0, still dark red, telling us that we have strength to the downside still. Good for another 10 tick target plus, so at least another $320 on that contract. And you can see we're triggering yet another wick off the 18 to the downside. Not trading that, but a fairly easy, well guided, based on our rules, based on our setup. Almost $1,000 in bonds this afternoon.